As was explained, this is one of the largest panels ever assembled. It's because each person has something crucial to contribute, but clinical trials have shown that 5 is the optimum number for a panel, so we're worried that some people won't get, we'll do as much as we possibly can in this time. It's a very good day to be talking about dramatising politics, because those of you who have read the newspapers may have seen the suggestion that the British Houses of Parliament are for the first time going to be hired out to film companies in order to record political dramas there. Until now, as many people on this panel know, they've had to use a mock-up left over from a Jeffrey Archer series in the 1980s, but they will apparently now be able to use the real thing. So what we'll do is we'll talk about various issues, and first of all, I thought rather than do it myself, I was going to ask each of the panel to explain briefly who they are. Cynics will suspect that I'm worried about the pronunciation of some of the names. I have a track record in this because I once took part in a similar event at the Swedish embassy related to a drama about a Swedish detective. And after myself and 2 of the English participants had talked for about 20 minutes, one of the Swedish participants said very politely, "I don't know which series you were talking about, this thing called Wallander, but I will now discuss Wallander." We may have similar problems today, but first of all, if I could ask everyone on the panel, we'll start at this end, to tell us briefly who they are.
Yes, and just briefly, yes. My name is Jesper Nielsen, and I'm an episodic director of some of the episodes of Borgen. As directors, we have one director who start the whole show up, and because it's a very long series, one director cannot do the whole stuff. So I've just done small parts of it, 6 episodes at all. Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Ingolf Gabold, and I am former head of drama. I was not dismissed last year because of this, but because of age. Let me just explain the head of drama very briefly. The head of drama is responsible towards the House, of course, the House of the Danish Broadcasting Corporation, to what we are doing and what our intentions are, which our intentions we have when doing drama. So in this case, as you have seen today, it's, I think, the most thrilling series I have been having, so to speak, the helicopter view on, because it's strong political, and I'll turn back on that a little later, what was our thoughts about it. Thank you.
And my name is Jeppe Gjervig Gram. I'm a writer on Borgen. I've been co-developing the story together with Adam. Sorry? Oh, does this work? Yeah. I'm a writer of Borgen. I'm a writer. Can you hear me? Not a speaker. I'm a writer of Borgen. I've been co-developing through the 5 years we've been working on it, on all episodes, and I've been writing 14 out of the 30 episodes.
We've now established it's necessary to get quite close to those microphones, yes. So we've also had a preview that you're Adam.
I am. My name is Adam Price, and I am the head writer or the showrunner of Borgen.
My name is Paula Milne. I'm a British screenwriter.
I'm the Danish correspondent for the paper Politiken. Yes. Hello, I'm Lone Theils. I'm the UK correspondent for Politiken, a national Danish newspaper. I've been living here for 15 years, and I've been following British politics, and I've also been following the whole development of how the interest in Danish TV drama has developed.
My name is Lars Knudsen. I'm an actor, and well, you didn't see me here in this episode because I was a little disappointed there. I think Bent, my name is Bent in the episode, he had a stroke, so he is on hospital. That's why you didn't see me, this one.
My name's Kath Mattock. I'm a drama producer here in the UK. I just made a drama called Murder, which was a BBC Two show that was directed by, talking about pronunciation, we still call him Birger, but I know it's Björn, so I'll try and do that properly after a year of working with him. Larsen, who is the lead director on The Killing, and we had a Danish editor, Jappe Gjervig, on that show as well.
Okay, so we've established who the panel are. We've also established, and please be sympathetic, because it's we've been given what we've been given technologically, that some people at the back have problems. So we got two of these. Could you switch on? Yeah. You just need to...
yeah, I see.
Yeah, we'll sort that out. So we have the options of these, so we'll do what we can. But also, I think you can pick up those table microphones as well. So we're going to talk for about 45, 50 minutes, which will be about a minute from each of the participants. And then we'll open it up. We'll bring the lights up and open it up to you. The first thing I wanted to talk about was I was going to ask Paula Milne to start with this, because I think a lot of British writers, viewers, TV critics are impressed by the appetite for political drama in your country, because here we've had decades of producers, drama commissioners saying, "Ooh, people aren't interested in politics." Could you start us off on that, Paula?
Can you hear me? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I think it's important to differentiate between drama that is about politicians and political drama. They're not always the same thing. I think the success of Borgen shows that the two coalesce brilliantly. It said in the blurb for this that there was a tradition in British political drama of satire. That's actually relatively recent. I think that we have, in the past, been responsible really for the political thriller on television, generally, and have done that, I think, quite successfully. If you look at something like Edge of Darkness, that was a political thriller and it was about politics, but it didn't actually have a lot of politicians in it. And I think that now is militating against us writing about our political structure. And it has become very difficult to do that, even as someone who writes in this country about politics in every form, but whether thriller or about Westminster politics. It has become increasingly difficult, as Mark says, to encourage or tempt the broadcasters into doing that. In The Politician's Husband, it was a bookend piece to another piece I wrote and had a big, strong emotional narrative engine and got off the ground because of that. But the idea that we could get a political drama off the ground about a female politician, for example, would be almost impossible to do here. And I think that is a reflection on the way we feel about politics and politicians and how the broadcasters back off that because they think it'll be a turn-off.
Oh, so you put it down. I was just going to ask you, because I think it amazes younger people, understandably, that in the mid-1970s, ITV peak time, 9 p.m., there was a 13-part series by Trevor Griffiths called Bill Brand with Jack Shepherd as a new Labour MP. It was a different world, wasn't it, in television terms?
Yes, I mean, there are a huge amount of reasons, I think, but they're so expensive to do now, these big series, that they look for co-production money. So as soon as it becomes about parochial politics in your own country, their belief is that it won't sell abroad. But on something like something I wrote called The Politician's Wife, which was some years ago, and it did catch the zeitgeist here of philandering politicians, etc., in the Tory party. However, it was, like Borgen, extremely successful abroad, which goes to show that it's not just about parochial politics. It's about the characters and the dilemmas they face, which are universal, about compromise and transcendent of spirit and principles.
And Ingolf, could I ask you to talk about this? Because, as I said, even in The Killing, for example, a huge number, perhaps most of the subplots, they involve politics or public life in some way. So you don't face these arguments that politics is boring.
Yes, I do. Politics is boring, and we thought always in Danish Broadcasting Corporation, this will not go. People does not take interest, and mind you, the politicians are so unreliable. So who cares? And when Adam came to me 4 years ago and said, I want to do a political drama, I said, beautiful, Adam, we don't. We are not going. And then Adam I'll make that very quick. And then we went to talking about West Wing. And I am a great admirer of West Wing, so was Adam, and we talked, why can't we do things like that in Denmark? Why couldn't we? Adam had a beautiful story when we went a little further after 2 or 3 weeks. Adam said to me, okay, the political thing, I don't know, let's wait and let's keep it. And then he told me, if please Adam, you'll just tell it, he went to some training, and in 2006 was our Minister of State at that time. He was talking about, and on television, that he wanted to make an election. And then one of the guys, besides Adam, said something. Please, Adam, quote it.
Adam.
Sorry, it was a big muscular guy, and he said basically the general election had just been announced. So I mean the campaign was 20 minutes old, and the guy next to me said, "Fuck, count me out," and I just thought, that's interesting. I mean, here we are celebrating democracy. I mean, the biggest party of the democracy must be the election campaign, the general election campaign. Now it's 20 minutes old, and here's a guy who wants to be counted out. I just thought, could we do a political drama that would actually increase the general interest in politics? And
then I said, Adam, we are in business, because this is something which is for a public service broadcaster. The importance of our democracy and the way it is formed in so on. So we were in business from that time.
No, but that attitude towards politics is rather interesting, I think, because when we started out researching for the series, we talked to a lot of politicians, also on the highest level in Denmark, and they too said, "You're going to make a drama series about politics. That's going to be so boring. Our life here in Parliament, our work, it's boring work. It's tedious. It takes a lot of time. It's not material for drama." And we said. Well, we are sure we can make it interesting, but of course, I mean, it was challenging because you have to cut corners to. It's not. I think these politicians, they know that basically the work they are doing, it's very dramatic, but you have to really to understand the work and the workings of the parliament to understand how much power is in play.
And one of the things you've done, I think, which Paula has also done in her work, is getting that balance between political procedure but also human stories. And one of the greatest involves our actor here. So you do an episode which is serious about how you appoint an EU commissioner and tells us how that is done, but it's tied up in big emotional and human stories as well. Who would like, yeah?
It sure always have been one of the big quality about the series that it have these personal stories, and it also tells a story about society. And what I was very amazed about the series was that it could be so close to the reality. The reality in the Danish parliament were almost like it was in the fictional world. So the difference between the fictional world and reality was very close. And sometimes when I worked on the series, then when I read the paper in the morning, I was going to the set and we were starting a scene, and the scene could actually be very close to what's happening in the Danish parliament. And then sometimes you could be a bit scared, because when the news are getting old, they're not interested anymore. But I think these writers, they really have the ability to tell the story, because they, in each episode, are choosing a political plot and tell it with such a clear, in such a clear way. They are able to have very complex characters and a very complex dialogue, and use a very complex language, and people can understand. And that was very well done. And of course, when we were working, when we were shooting, working with the actors, we have a big work to make these things real, to look right, and it also was a big responsibility because people were out there, and they can be recognized because the fiction and the reality was so close.